If you watch the History channel, you have already seen a pan and zoom effect. This is where a still image is given some life by starting at a point that's zoomed in on someone or something. Then the image starts zooming out and also perhaps slowly moving from one side to the other. Or the image could start out full screen, then zoom into the subject matter. In either case, this gives the image a perception of action where there is none, something a video camera normally does. Plus, it also helps to emphasize a specific subject matter in the image. And when the History channel may only have access to information from the pre-video era, every little bit helps, right? Well, you can create these same effects for any images you may intersperse into your video or when you create a slideshow-only file, which you can also do in VideoStudio. VideoStudio gives you several ways to create a pan and zoom effect. You can choose to auto pan and zoom, select a choice from a long list of presets, or customize your own. Let's say we try all three, shall we? I will first go to my image library, and I have brought in a series of images from a vacation I took. Now, to make this easier, I've already prearranged the order just by moving them around within the library here. Now I'm going to shift select all my images and just drag them down all at once to the timeline. And while they're still all selected, I'm going to right click, choose change image duration, and bump them all up to 5 seconds. You can set your own length or vary the durations by doing this individually. Let's first try the easiest method. Let's deselect the images in the timeline by clicking in an empty area and then reselect the first one. Right-click on the first image in the timeline and choose Auto, Pan, and Zoom. And that's all there is to it. And click Play. Now let's try one of the built-in presets. Let's choose our second image in the timeline. Now, I've mentioned this great feature before in VideoStudio in that the tools will automatically show themselves when you need them, and here is no exception. In the image panel that appears just above and to the right of our timeline, when you select your image, click on the Pan and Zoom radio button. You'll immediately notice an animated cube just below here. Let's click on the down-facing arrow next to it and choose a preset that would best represent how and where we want to apply the emphasis on our image. In this case, on the balloon image I'm on, I'm going to choose the fifth one down on the right. But feel free to try as many as you wish before you make your final selection. Again, to preview, just click play. And also probably select clip instead of project. That way this will only play this particular clip in the timeline. Alright, we'll add some different choices to the next couple ones to see the differences. For my third image, I'm going to choose the fifth one down on the left. Now let's try a custom pan and zoom choice. Let's click our next image. Click the pan and zoom radio button again. This time let's choose something that at least closely resembles the idea that you may have. This isn't mandatory, but it will make your customization a little easier. For my prairie dog friend, I'm going to choose the very first choice. And then I'm going to click on the customize icon. Let's first take a quick tour here. Upper left window shows our image at full screen. The red X is where we're currently at, as you see by the view over here on the right. The pan and zoom effect will move along the dotted path as the effect takes place. At the end of each dotted path there is a blue X, designate the beginning and the ending point. The first blue X is actually under this red X. Big dotted rectangle represents what part of the image will be seen in the video window at any point in time. And of course the window on the right represents what that current view of the image is. Confused? Okay, well just hit the play button and watch both windows and the playback head move along the timeline underneath it. Play it a couple times. You see what's happening now? Great. Then let's change some of these. Make sure your playback head is at any of the key frames, as these are the only locations you can make changes. For future reference, you can add a keyframe anywhere by moving your playback head and clicking the plus icon here. And then you can make adjustments there too. VideoStudio will automatically and gradually create any in-between frames between any two keyframes in a process called tweening. Alright, I'll rewind to the first keyframe again by just clicking the keyframe diamond and position my X where I want my effect to start. And then I'm going to resize the triangle. Then move your playback head to the final keyframe and do the same thing. Click the play button to play back your clip and click OK when you're done. As a final step, drop a transition in between each image. So how did you do? Are you having fun yet? Cool thing is, experiment on your own. You can't break it. Try new things. And best of all, just have fun and see what you can come up with. Thanks again, and we'll see you on our next Video Studio tutorial.